Hello, good morning. I hope that you are hear me. I'll call you with my phone here, the images, okay? Good morning, guys. It's a pleasure to be here again. My name is Neide Mota. I'm a volunteer in the Spirit Society of Ireland. It's a Spiritist group in Dublin, Ireland. And today I will deliver the talk, Sunday's talk. And I hope you all enjoy this moment with me. Okay. Um, yeah. So first things first, let's go for our initial prayer. Just before, for those who are listening and watching, if there is any problem in the connection, please let me know. Okay, you can write for me on the chat, and I will see you here, and I will try to fix it. Okay. All right. Let's go. Let's raise our thoughts to the Master Jesus. Take a deep breath, calm down our heart, our thoughts, connect ourselves with the high spirits, ask them to bring us light, peace, that we can study the Spiritism here together, learning with each other, because we all are here to learn. Let God be with us always. So be it. All right. So, uh, I will introduce here the topic of today. Let me share with you the screen here. Well, not this part. Uh, from the beginning. From the beginning. All right. This is a topic that I haven't talked before, but I decided to split this talk that I have gave before in two, that I can we can go a little bit deeper and can have more time to talk about this, because I think it was a very short time and a lot of information for just one speech that I have made before. So that's why I decided to divide in part one, that will be today, and part two next time that I will talk. So, is the basic principles of the Spiritist doctrine, part one, today. And I think it's something that is very important for us to always talk about, because even for us that we are many years studying the Spiritism, it's always good to back to the roots, always good to review the principles of the Spiritism, and keeping, bring this topic over and over always in a while. And that's why I decided to talk again about this. So, and the first, before I start with the first one, I I just want to remind a little bit more about the Spiritism, this amazing doctrine that was brought to us by Allan Kardec in the 18th, yeah, when 1854, no, 52, 54 or 52, I'm not sure. Uh, But yes, and he wrote these books. He started with the Spirit's book, was the first book that he brought to us, and I think for me is one of the most important, because it's the book that we can find all the principle of the Spiritism. Is a very important book for the Spiritist doctrine, because you have there the answers, the questions, and once that I start to study this book, my mind is like blow up, like open, and I start to understand. I start to see a lot of things that I didn't see before. So I think for me is like the the book that we all should start to study when we are interested to know about the Spiritism and the Spiritist doctrine. Like is essential, and is one of the best for sure to start. And then we have, of course, the others, because in total we have 5 books, right, from the Allan Kardec that he wrote to, that we call the Spiritist. Uh, I forgot the word right now. The Pentagon of the Spiritist, I think is the word. That is the 5 books, right? That is uh, the Spirit's book, the books of the Median's book, the Gospel Accord Spiritism, Heaven and Hell, and Genesis. So each of these books explain better about one talk. For example, we have the Spirit's book that is something that I think, as I said before, is something very important because you have there the base principles, the root of the Spiritism, because when he started to study and he started to understand what was going on that time when they had the round tables and the people start to talk about and they start to talk about the spirits and something like that. This phenomenal uh, uh, mediumship phenomenon that was happening, and the people was very curious and was like a show that the people go to answer and to ask some kind of silly question, this kind of stuff. And then he got interested and he decided to study. He started to ask important questions and try to understand what was going on. And then when was revealed to him the importance of this job and was the what was the fundamental of that, and that's why he got deeper and deeper, and he make like 1,000. And the first book was, I think, 900 and something question, and then after that he did little bit more, and the final edition ends with exactly 1,019 questions that Allan Kardec asked to the spirits, and the spirits answer to him through the mediums, to the mediumship of the mediums, and he was able to complete all these questions on this book. That is an amazing book. Uh, so, and after that, they have the medium's book that was special for those who want to understand the study mediumship and what is mediumship, what the importance of mediumship, and for what was used and why people has mediumship. Basically, is everything compiled in this book, and it's a very important book for those who has interest in to understand, or even for those who are mediums and don't know what's going on with them and want to understand how to deal with mediumship. The medium's book is like the Bible that they have to study, because it's a very important book for those who has mediumship or developed mediumship, right? The Gospel Accord Spiritism, that one that is one that I use a lot as well, because they explain the the parables of Jesus. They have a lot Jesus parables on this book when he explained. So it's a book that is very good to open as well our mind, to open our view about the passage of Jesus and the teachings that Jesus wants to bring to us. So for me, for example, I cannot understand the Bible as like not that I don't understand. I cannot read and like, because the words that they use, the parables, they don't explain. If you go and read just a part. For me, personal, I could not study the Bible because of that, right? And then when I start to study the Gospel Accord Spiritism, when they take this passage, these parables from Jesus, and they explain what Jesus wants to say with that, what was the real intention behind that, and so on. This clarify a lot of things in my mind. It's like make me comprehend much more, the words of Jesus that I could not understand before. So I think is a very good book, and is the book that I use, for example, to my gospel at home. and I think it's one of that we have to have always close to us because it's very helpful. Heaven and Hell. Heaven and Hell is a book that talk more about the spiritual world, and the spirit itself is something that is more about the moral of the spirit, the, the beings, let's say. So this is a book that touch more this part, the moral one, and they bring to us a lot of real, how the word depoimentos, a lot of spirits who pass away that come back through the mediumship and explain the situation, what they saw when they pass away, is very interesting to study as well, because this gives us the comprehension that not just because we die, we pass away, that we become something different, or we lose ours, we lose ours, what who we are. We're still the same spirit. The only difference is we are incarnate and disincarnate, and what is the benefit, what is the situation, and it's a very interesting book. I is this one. I confess, I myself I didn't study deep yet because I'm still on the others, but I will get there on time. And the Genesis as well, that is more about I think the version, the formation of words, and this is a more complex book. And as I said, I didn't get on these last two books. Is the one that I still have to study further, like to understand better. But each thing in your time and the right time, I'm gonna get there. I'm still on the first three books, you know, because I'm still like a student here. So, but it's a very nice and very interesting book. There is few controversy because I think it was in the last book, because some people uh, said that was some alterations and something that is still studying and going on. That's why it's good to leave this one for the last, because when we get there, we will be able to comprehend what the book wants to say to us. Because I think if you want to skip, and go start from the end, sometimes it's mess up a little bit our head. That's why I want to study first these three books very well and then go to the others. But this is as a particular thing. Of course, if you want to study a lot of them, it's up to you. It depends which one you identify better, But that's here the base of the Spiritism. These five books, amazing. That was bring for us from our dear Allan Kardec. So now that we that I present to you the books, let's go to the principle itself. And this principle that topics that I got today, I confess, I took basically all the examples and all the from the first book, from the Spirit's book. And one of the 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 first principle of the Spiritism, it's God, because the Spiritists, we believe in God, right? We believe that there is a God, and the God is creator of the universe. It's created the spirits and the matters by means of the universal laws. God is the supreme intelligence and cause of all things. It is eternal, immaterial, and one. And I think it's very interesting because when I hear this definition of God from the Spiritist books, I could understand a little bit, and this is kind of that make is more what make more sense for me, because as a kid, when I was going to the churches and everything, we have this image of God as a old man sit on the chair, judge us from the heaven. And this kind of image didn't make sense in my head. Like, why we have to submit ourselves to this old man that judge us from from his chairs, and doesn't make too much sense for me, this story. And when we get the definition of God from the Spiritist book, okay, by the way, is the first question that Kardec asked to the spirits. He asked exactly like that. What is God? He didn't ask who is God. He asked what is God? And the answer of the spirit was exactly that. God is the supreme intelligence, the first cause of all things. You know. So it's like, and with this I comprehend that, this means that God is not a person. This means that is not this old man who sit there and judge me. God is something else. Is something much bigger that we think. Is an energy. Is a is kind of a universal force that guides everything, that creates everything. It's not a person like me, like you. It's something much much more bigger. You know. And when he asked what is the mean, what it mean by the infinite, because he said that God is infinite. Yeah. And then they ask that wish, that wish has neither beginning nor end, the unknown, all which is unknown and infinite. And this is mean like God is infinite, there is no beginning, no end. And one question that's very nice that they say to us, uh, because the Spirit said to us that we don't have yet. When they ask, could we say that God is the infinite? So, can we say so that God is the infinite? And they answer, that would be an incomplete definition. Humans speak is too impoverished and deficient to define what which transcendent human intelligence. But basically, they say you don't have intelligence enough to comprehend what is God. You know, and this is what like you are saying that we are dope, that we cannot understand God. Basically, yes, uh, in a certain way. This is because the human vocabulary and the human's comprehension is still low, still too poor to understand the magnitude and what is God. You know, so don't try to understand God. First, basically, like first try to understand who is yourself and what you are doing here, that we can understand God. But it's enough to know that okay, we are not here in vain. There is this big force that is organize everything that we call God, is the word that we gave. But don't presume that God is a being like one being that is organize everything. It's something much bigger. Is a universal force and is there. We can feel it through our feelings of ours. And my cat is getting crazy here behind me. If you see a black or a white thing passing by here, is the cats. Okay? But sometimes they are doing that. So basically this. So they say there is something, there is a God, but it's not what you think there is. Okay. And then I have to stay with this answer because I think this is enough. Just know by this is already enough to blow my mind. Uh, I, sorry, my slide today is a mess. So that's why that's the definition of God, as I said, that I was reading is from the chapter 1 of the first book, because this book is divided in four books, 4 parts. And the first part is the creation, and this is where the first chapter you find all the definitions of God uh, on this part. So the second one, sorry, I think my mouse is a little bit crazy. Second, I brought the spirits of the God, the spirits. So we spiritists believe in the spirits, right? But and what is the spirit? You know, the spirit is the ghost that we see. Or what is the spirits, basically? The spirits are the beings that populate the universe beyond the material world, and they constitute the invisible world. Oh, Jesus, the words are difficult to say today. They are not beings that originate from any special creation, but rather the soul of those who live on Earth or in other sphere that left the corporeal envelope. Jesus. I need to learn how to read. So, basic is like that. What is the spirit? The spirit basic is that the ghost that we see, that we call ghost, is not more, not less than just spirits like us, that is already disincarnate, is not or don't have a physical body like us. But the thing is, we all are spirits as well. But the difference that is that we are incarnate, But when we pass away, when we die, we become a spirit, or we back to be a spirit, let's say. And I think that he said this, they say here in the first part, that is the being that they populate the universe beyond the material world, and they constitute the invisible world. They are talking about the spiritual world. And to understand better this principle, or what is spirits, we can go to the book 2, the part 2 of the book, where the chapter 1 is the spirits, when they have the origin, nature of spirits, primitive normal words, forms and the omnipresence of spirits, perispirits, different orders of spirits, spirit hierarchy, progress of spirits, angels and demons. Is everything on this chapter 1 of the second part of the book, and then we can understand what we are, where we come from where we go after we die, and so on. Basically, what the difference between one spirit and another, different kind of ghosts, let's say. So it's basically everything is the part 2 of the spirit's book. Is a very interesting part, and is like explaining a lot about this. And today, I don't say to you that I'm not afraid of the ghost, because it's something that is, I'm still a little bit afraid because of the stories. But yes, now it's much more. I understand much more what is this, what is the spirits, and the difference, and what's the why they appear, why they don't appear, why you can see, why you cannot see, and this kind of things. And like I say, and you read just the first question of this part, because it's the question 76, when they ask how may we define spirits, and then they say we can say that the spirits are intelligent beings of creation. They populate the universe beyond the material world, like you say. But also, we are the intelligent beings of creations. This means that God created us. And if you see on this part, I'm not going to read, because the intention is to just to give you an idea. We are created simple and ignorant by God, this force, and we are here to develop ourselves, to grow, and to learn, right? So, and of course, we are different from each other. It's not all the spirits are the same, and it's just because one spirit like that doesn't mean that the other will be the same. So it's interesting, and when we study this part deeper, we see a lot of um, nice things about it. And this is my black. Come on, Gaia, come on, say hi, say hi, go. They always like that. They like to come here in front of the camera all the time. So yes, so for those who want to understand better about the spirits and the spiritual world, the chapter 1 of the second book, the second part of the spirit book, is the best place to start. the better, even I think the better place to start. So I highly recommend it. Let's move on. Immortality. So this principle that we believe is the immortality, as we have seen, like the spirits that create from the superior, from God, and we are immortal. So for those who think that is just this life in Earth is everything, and after that won't be anything else, surprise! No, we are immortal. Immortality is one of the principle of Spiritism as well. So the spirits survive physical death, therefore it's indestructible and immortal. It conserves its personality after the death of the body. So this means that you can kill or we can die the physical body. This body here can be killed, can die, but the spirit is immortal. We continue live after that. So that's not it's not because the body is dead that we are gone. No, we are immortal and we survive this death and we continue live after that. You know, and this is something that is very good when I learn about that, because especially if you have someone that already passed away, and we understand that it's not because I cannot see you or because you are not here with me anymore that you want to live. You are living, but it's somewhere else. You know, it's kind of a relief to know that and to comprehend better the purpose of life. Because for me to say that just the life here that we are living, this that just one life is everything, doesn't make any sense for me. So, and I believe for most of the people. So that's why when we study Spiritism, we kind of open our vision and can see much more. And the immortality brings us this relief that not because someone is passed away, someone is dead in this world, that it's not continue live in another place. So that is really, really a relief. And just a second, because my cat is broken my things. Gaia. She's playing with something that she should not play. So here on this question 83 of the Spirits book is the same part that they talk about the spirits, by the way. Yeah, it's the same chapter. It's one of the first questions to be true, because the questions 83 of the Spirits book, Kardec asks to the spirits, do spirits have an end? We understand that the source is eternal, but we want to know whether the individual existence has a fixed term, and if after a given period of time, the element from which they are formed is redistributed, does it return to the mass from which they were produced, as it the fate of material bodies? It is difficult to understand the conception that something that has had a beginning doesn't have an end. That's what Kardec asked, because it's like, okay, the spirits had a beginning. If everything, we believe that everything that has a beginning has an end, you know. So how this works? Like when we get to the end, we're gonna back to the cosmic from where we come from, you know. Like he wants to understand better what's happened with the spirits, because in some religions, some doctrines, they believe that we are part of a cosmic, and when we die, we we back to the source, to be part of the universe. Uh, and then the answer that they gave to Kardec was, as humans have limited intelligence, There are many things that you do not understand. Regardless, this doesn't not constitute sufficient ground for rejections. Children do not understand all that is understood by their parents, nor does an uneducated person understand all that is understood by an educated one. The existence of spirit has no end, and that is all that we can reveal at this time. And I confess, when I read that, I was kind of a little bit frustrated because basically they call us dumb and that we don't have enough intelligence to understand. But they are right, you know. It's like they said, we are like a children here. We are here learning, and our comprehension uh, is still limited, so we cannot understand beyond this. So everything is they kind of say, look, everything that I can tell you is like the spirit is immortal, and for now, let's keep like that, knowing that is everything that you can know right now. One day, when we reach the evolution, maybe we can have access to this information, or maybe this is what I'm thinking, that this more evolved we are, more access to more information we will have. But for now on, this is everything that is necessary to us to know. Like, be happy with this and wait that we can get more. But was funny because sometimes they speak, they are very rational, they basically call us like a little bit dumb. Eh, but we are little children here to learn. Is everything that we have to know. And next one, evolution is another principle about spiritism. Evolution. The march of the spirit is progressive and never retrogressive. They gradually elevate themselves in the hierarchy and do not descend from the planet that they attained. Progress is necessity that the spirit will feel sooner or later. I'll have to advance. In observing the scale of beings, we see that they form a continuous chain without end, without end, from raw matter all the way to the most intelligent man. So here there are say, okay, we are immortal spirits, but we evolve. That's basically say we are here in a progressive journey. It's like uh, I imagine that we are here, as I say, as I said before, we are children, right? And we are here to learn, and we are in a evolution process. We are evolving every day. We are evolving every time. Every incarnation that we have, we evolve a little bit more till we get the perfection, as they say here. And it's like a continuous chain that never stop. And here they say that the spirit will evolve sooner or later, because some spirits, as they can explain to us, sometimes stagnate in a certain level for a while, but sooner or later, this spirit will continue evolve, because that is the purpose of life. Basically, is to evolve, is to grow as a being, as a spirit, right? And we can see more about that in the book 3 of the part 3 of the Spirit's book, the chapter 8, Law of Progress. That we can see the state of nature, the march of progress, declination of nations, decline of nations, civilizations, progress of societal legislation, influence of spirit on progress. So we can understand more about this on this part, the law of progress of the chapter 8 of the Spirit's book, because here we can understand like to evolve, we have to deal with our imperfection, we have to deal with a lot of things that we have to work on. So they explain the march of progress, the relapse of culture. So it's a very this part, the book 3 or the part 3 is all the laws, all the universal laws. We have here the law of labor, law of reproductions, we have the law of destructions, uh, the law of society, we have the law of progress, that's the one that I said there, that I have mentioned there. We have law of equality, we have law of freedom, what else? There's so many laws. Law of justice, love and charity. Yeah, that is the law of the soul. But this is based, this compilation of laws. Here we can understand better about our purpose and how to evolve, how to walk for our evolution. And it's a very interesting and, and sometimes it's very hard because we have to look at our imperfection and the progress of the humanity, for what we start and what the point we are now, and we have so much to walk on this path. But it's very interesting to study, and it's kind of give us hope as well, because as they said here, we are here to evolve, and as they said, we cannot back, we cannot retrocess, like you cannot back to be ignorant. Once that you have the knowledge, once we acquire the knowledge, we acquire information, we cannot forget, let's say. Even the body can forget, the human body can forget because of the disease or something like that, but the spirits will never forget. The spirit will never back for the beginning. They always go further, they always will grow. Once that you have they study the information, is forever, and this is very good because we used to joke about this, because we say, okay, I don't have enough time to learn certain things in this world, in this life, but next life I want to learn more. And it's a good, because another day we are talking the studies group about this, about learn things, that is never late to learn, it's never late to study, it's never late to acquire knowledge or to do something that you want to learn, because you say, but I'm too old, I won't use this in this life. But this you bring with you, this you keep with you forever, so if you want to learn something, if you want to study something, go for, don't wait to next life to start. You can start in this life, and you can get more perfection the next life, so learning is continuous. So we always have to keep learning things, because this is the only thing that we're going to bring to us when we pass away from this life. So let's take this time that we are here to learn, to evolve, and to grow as being, as a spirit. It's never late. You are never too old. And yes, this is just the half of the principle that I about today. We still have more, but we will talk about this, about reincarnation, about the other principle on the next free will, and so on the next part, the part 2, because we don't have too much time anymore. We are reaching the end of our speech. And I just want to bring this phrase from Kardec that he said that without charity there is no salvation, and it's always good to remind us about that. It's something that I never get tired to see. And before we finish, I want to remind you about our activity. We have activity every Sunday, the special Sunday talk, like talk. Online is 11:15 a.m. And if it's in person, is every 2 weeks. Online, every 2 weeks in person. So next week we're gonna be in presential meetings in person. The address and the times and all the information is in our Facebook page, by the way. and is always website as well. And if it's not, you can send us a direct message, then we answer to you with more information if you need or if you want. Okay. Uh, every Tuesday and Thursday we have live talk at 7:15 p.m. with Stephen and some guests. So it's like a study talking, and this is nice because you can make questions, you can talk, and so on. And on Tuesdays, we have reading sessions online every week at 8:30 p.m. If you want to have always in Portuguese say passe, but in English always a healing session that you receive good energy, like to kind of re-energize yourself. It's very nice. It's a short time. It's from half eight to quarter to nine, 10 to 9. It's like take like 15, 20 minutes maximum. It's very short. And that is if you want to put your name of some any people that you want to send good vibration, good energy, there is a form, Google form on the Facebook page that you can go and put the name of the person or your name if you want. And on Wednesday, we have always studies that is online. We are studying the Spirit's book. It starts 8 o'clock p.m. 8 o'clock in the evening every Wednesday. And is not an open group like on the like we do ours live. If you get interest in participating in our studies group, please just send us an email or a direct on the Facebook page, and I will send you the link to access the Zoom room to attend the Wednesday study. Okay? I think that's all the information that I have to give to you today. And to finish, let's go to our final prayer. So let's close your eyes, raise our thoughts to the Master Jesus, to the good spirits, and say thanks. Thanks very much for this moment. Thanks very much. Thanks very much for this opportunity to be here, studying, learning with the Spiritist teachings. That we all will have a great week full of blessing, peace, and with God always. Uh, so be it. Amen. So, guys, I wish you all a very good week, a week of peace, love, and blessed. And we meet again very soon. Next week. Don't forget, we don't want to have always online meeting. We will have always presential meeting at W2. Okay? See you there. Thank you very much, guys. Have a very nice Sunday and a great week. Bye.